Earth had transformed into a breathtaking mosaic of futuristic skylines interwoven with the lush rebirth of nature. Towering spires of glass and steel pierced the heavens, their reflective surfaces catching the light of a world reborn, while vibrant vertical gardens clung to every edifice, a testament to humanity's resilience and adaptability. Beneath this dazzling display of progress, however, lay a secret known only to a select few, a hidden armada, concealed in the dark, mysterious depths of the Pacific Ocean. Here, state-of-the-art warships rested among bioluminescent coral reefs, their presence a silent promise of defense against any cosmic threat. Dr. Elena Vega moved purposefully along the polished corridors of the Global Defense Command Center, her eyes alight with determination and a quiet sorrow. A renowned exomilitary strategist and astrophysicist, Elena's heart still bore the scars of a devastating encounter that had taken everything dear to her. Each measured step was a vow, a promise that Earth would never again face the unknown unprepared. Inside the command center, holographic displays bathed the room in a spectral glow, mapping the intricate network of covert underwater bases. These sanctuaries, engineered in secret by nations united behind a single purpose, stood as a bulwark against an enemy that might emerge from the vast expanse of space. The technology was as awe-inspiring as it was enigmatic, blending natural beauty with engineering genius to create a defense system hidden in plain sight. Despite the palpable air of innovation and calm, tension simmered in quiet corners. Above ground, cities thrived on dreams of harmony and progress, their inhabitants blissfully unaware of the looming threat. In contrast, the few who knew the truth recognized that the present tranquility was merely the lull before a storm, a fleeting moment of calm before chaos erupted. In the hushed ambience of the command center, Elena's mind raced with both duty and memory. Data streamed before her eyes, each flicker on the display a reminder of lives intertwined with the fate of the planet. As she analyzed the latest updates on deep-sea sensor arrays, her resolve deepened. The Hidden Fleet was not just a collection of advanced warships. It was the embodiment of Earth's unwavering commitment to protect its people and preserve a fragile peace at any cost. In that charged, silent moment, the calm was profound. Elena could feel the heartbeat of a world poised on the brink of destiny, a world where the next whisper of interstellar threat might shatter the silence. Yet for now, Earth held its breath, cocooned in a fragile peace crafted by innovation, sacrifice, and unyielding hope. The stage was set, and beneath the surface, the Armada waited in vigilant silence for the call to arms. The silence of the command center was abruptly punctuated by a series of low, urgent beeps, a sound that had become all too familiar in recent weeks. Dr. Elena Vega's eyes darted to the holographic display as new data cascaded across the screen. Among the streams of routine communications, a pattern emerged that defied ordinary explanation, a sequence of encrypted signals, rhythmic and insistent, emanating from the ocean's depths. Elena leaned forward, her pulse quickening with each flicker of the data feed. The signals carried an eerie, otherworldly cadence, a language not formed by human design. They were the digital whispers of an intelligence far beyond Earth's ken, a harbinger of a threat that had long been theorized but never fully comprehended. As she analyzed the cryptic patterns, a chill ran down her spine, recalling the devastating encounter that had once ripped her life apart. In that moment, every bit of her resolve crystallized. These signals were a prelude to an invasion. In a shadowed corner of the room, senior military analysts huddled over their screens, their faces illuminated by the cold light of data. The tension was palpable, each analyst aware that this was not just an anomaly in the noise of everyday surveillance, but a coded message from an unknown enemy. The head of the communications team spoke in hushed, clipped tones. "It's as if they're testing our defenses, probing, watching." His words reverberated in the charged atmosphere, igniting a flurry of whispered speculation and fervent determination. As Elena absorbed the gravity of the situation, her thoughts wandered back to a time when she first encountered the unfathomable. The memory was both a curse and a guide. Each face, each lost life, a reminder of the cost of complacency. Now, Armed with the understanding that the enemy was not a figment of imagination but an active force, she felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. The data on the screen was not just binary code. It was the clarion call of a looming battle. Outside the fortified walls of the command center, the world remained blissfully unaware. City streets buzzed with the routine hum of life, neon advertisements glowing in the twilight as citizens went about their evenings, unknowing of the existential threat quietly building beneath the surface. But here, in the heart of Earth's defense network, every monitor, every sensor told a story of vigilance and impending conflict. The signals, mysterious and deliberate, spoke a silent language of war. Each pulse was a declaration, a message from an enemy that had honed its tactics over countless light years, now testing the resolve of humanity. In that charged moment, Elena resolved to decode the message entirely. Her mind raced through layers of encryption, scientific theory, and strategic possibilities. She knew that understanding these signals could provide the critical advantage needed to rally Earth's hidden armada and prepare for what was coming. The command center, usually a sanctuary of measured calm, had transformed into a battlefield of ideas and data. In the interplay of digital light and shadow, Elena and her team stood as humanity's first and final line of defense. Their eyes were fixed on the abyss of the unknown, determined to illuminate its secrets before it was too late. Every second that ticked by tightened the coil of fate. The signals from the deep were not just a warning. They were an unmistakable summons to arms, a call to awaken the sleeping giant beneath the ocean's depths. And as the digital code unfurled its dark message, Elena knew that the moment of reckoning had finally arrived. The tension in the command center was palpable as Dr. Elena Vega convened an emergency meeting. Around her, military officers and scientists gathered, their faces etched with determination and apprehension. The holographic display pulsed with the enigmatic signals that had shattered their calm, a constant reminder of the threat lurking in the unknown. These signals aren't random, Elena stated firmly, her voice resonating with both urgency and resolve. They're a prelude. We need to mobilize every asset at our disposal. Her words set off a flurry of activity. Officers began coordinating with one another, their conversations a rapid exchange of tactical jargon and strategic planning. Across secured lines, units from multiple nations, each with their own specialized technologies and unique battle strategies, joined the call. The once isolated command center soon transformed into a nexus of global collaboration, where the stakes were nothing less than humanity's survival. In a quieter corner of the room, Elena worked closely with her trusted team of analysts. Together, they pored over the latest intelligence reports and satellite feeds, mapping out the network of underwater bases that concealed Earth's secret armada. These installations, nestled beneath vast expanses of bioluminescent coral, were marvels of engineering, a testament to the ingenuity that had turned humanity's fear into a formidable defense. We've integrated stealth protocols with adaptive camouflage, explained Lieutenant Reyes, a tactical operations specialist. Our underwater sensors are already tracking any anomalous movements. If they approach, our systems will alert us instantly. Elena nodded, her mind racing through the layers of complexity. Every detail mattered. The synchronization of diverse military factions, the fusion of cutting-edge technology with age-old strategies of defense, and the delicate balance of trust among nations that had once stood divided. Here, in this high-stakes crucible, humanity was united by a single purpose: to stand resilient against the void. Beyond the technical briefings, voices of personal resolve resonated among the team. A young communications officer, eyes wide with both fear and admiration, said softly, "Dr. Vega, will we be ready in time?" Her gaze met his, filled with the certainty of someone who had faced the abyss before. "We have to be," she replied. "Every moment counts, and every one of us is essential to turning the tide." Simultaneously, in distant military command posts scattered across the globe, leaders echoed her call. Secret meetings, held behind layers of confidentiality and trust, saw nations sharing intelligence and synchronizing their defensive maneuvers. The Hidden Armada was not merely a collection of warships. It was a symbol of collective human ingenuity and a commitment to defy any force that threatened their existence. In the heart of the command center, the air thrummed with the hum of determination. Elena's eyes flitted between the dynamic charts and the earnest faces of her colleagues. With every piece of data, every secured channel, the global defense network grew more resilient and interconnected. It was a silent symphony of unity, a melding of minds and machines in preparation for a confrontation that could reshape the future. As preparations intensified, the atmosphere shifted from cautious optimism to relentless resolve. Elena's strategy sessions became a blend of calculated science and impassioned leadership, each briefing steeped in the understanding that the coming storm would test the very limits of their resolve. With a final glance at the mesmerizing display of deep-sea defenses, she knew that rallying the forces was not just a tactical necessity. It was the embodiment of humanity's unyielding will to protect its future. The forces were gathering, the gears of the secret Armada beginning to churn in the hidden depths. And in that charged moment, beneath the glow of holographic light, and amid the fervor of global unity, Earth's defenders steeled themselves for the inevitable clash. A clash that would determine the fate of a planet united against an unfathomable enemy. The night had draped itself over the ocean like a velvet shroud when the first skirmish erupted. Deep beneath the surface, where the hidden Armada lay cloaked in darkness and bioluminescent wonder, subtle disturbances rippled through the sensor arrays. Elena's eyes flickered over the data on her console. A sudden anomaly, a whisper of movement that was too deliberate to be natural. "Alpha Squad, report your status," crackled a voice over the comm, edged with both urgency and the quiet determination of those who had trained for this moment. In response, the filtered sounds of underwater engines and the muted echoes of command returned a series of terse affirmations. The enemy was closer than anyone had dared imagine. Above the darkened expanse of the command center, tension coiled like a spring. The holographic maps displayed flickering points of light, alien scouts venturing into the guarded waters. Each was a promise of confrontation, a sign that the extraterrestrial force had initiated its probing maneuvers. The command center buzzed with rapid-fire analysis and cautious whispers. Elena's voice cut through the murmurs as she addressed her assembled team. "We're not in a full-scale war yet, but these intrusions are deliberate. They're testing our boundaries. Hold your positions and report every detail." Her tone was both firm and measured, a lifeline for a crew aware that every decision could tip the scales between victory and disaster. In the dim glow of the undersea base, Lieutenant Reyes and his team moved with practiced stealth. The warship's corridors, lined with panels pulsing in soft luminescence, became a stage for the unfolding drama. As sensors picked up the alien presence, an alert sent ripples through the vessel, a silent alarm that resonated with the weight of impending conflict. In a narrow control room, screens displayed the creeping silhouettes of alien craft, their forms sleek and otherworldly. Reyes whispered into his headset, "Contact, multiple unidentified objects approaching at high velocity. They're not engaging yet, just observing." His words hung in the air, laden with the anticipation of the unknown. Back in the command center, Elena's thoughts raced. Every encounter, however brief, was a rehearsal for what might come on a grander scale. Memories of past battles flickered like ghostly images in her mind, each loss a bitter reminder of the cost of complacency. Yet, amid the fear, there was a spark of resolve that refused to be snuffed out. A sudden burst of static over the communication line jolted everyone into focus. "They're moving in formation," announced a junior analyst, his voice tinged with both awe and alarm. The alien scouts, sleek and silent as predators of the deep, began a calculated descent toward the hidden fleet. The choreography of their movement was both mesmerizing and menacing, a silent ballet of war. As the ships drew closer, the first exchange of dialogue crackled across the intercom. "Alpha Squad, engage at will. Remember, precision over recklessness," Elena ordered, her voice a beacon of calm authority amidst the chaos. The underwater silence was shattered by the coordinated hum of defense systems activating, and the alien vessels responded with equally deliberate maneuvers. In that charged moment, time seemed to stretch. The command center watched, its collective breath held, as the initial clash unfolded in silent, submerged theaters. Every sensor reading, Every flicker of light on the screen was a testament to the delicate balance between alertness and devastation. The skirmish was brief but brutal, a series of near misses and evasive maneuvers that left both sides reeling with the stark reality of confrontation. Through it all, Elena maintained a vigilant gaze on the unfolding scene. The encounter, though small in scale, was a crucible, testing the strength of Earth's defenses and the mettle of its warriors. The alien scouts, with their uncanny precision and enigmatic intent, had unveiled a glimpse of the formidable enemy that loomed beyond. Their presence was a stark reminder that the impending war was not a distant possibility, but a rapidly encroaching reality. As the first contact faded into the abyss, the underwater silence reclaimed its dominion over the base. Yet, in the command center, the aftershocks of that brief engagement continued to echo, a sober prelude to the storm that was gathering strength beyond the horizon. Elena's heart pounded with the realization that every shadow in the deep carried the weight of an impending battle, and that each calculated move now was the difference between survival and oblivion. In the aftermath, the operators resumed their vigilant watch, and the command center pulsed with the energy of preparedness. The encounter had been a warning, a glimpse into the precise, unyielding tactics of an enemy that had no intention of retreating. And as the silent depths of the ocean closed over the returning echoes of battle, Elena's resolve hardened. This was but the first shadow of conflict, and the true war was yet to come. The ocean's dark silence was shattered by the thunder of conflict as Earth's Armada and the alien vanguard met in a titanic clash. The hidden fleet, long held in reserve beneath the bioluminescent veil of the deep, surged forward with precision, its sleek warships emerging from the abyss like steel predators awakened from slumber. Elena stood at the helm of the command room, her gaze fixed on the colossal holographic display that charted every move of the enemy and her own forces. The initial skirmishes had been probing tests, a dangerous game of cat and mouse. But now, the engagement had evolved into a full-scale confrontation. The alien scouts, once silent and enigmatic, had given way to a formidable fleet that advanced in perfect formation, their crystalline hulls reflecting eerie flashes of light as they navigated the underwater battleground. In response, Earth's secret armada deployed in synchronized arrays, the culmination of years of covert planning and the shared resolve of nations united under a single, desperate cause. All units, prepare for coordinated assault. Elena's voice resonated through the command center, firm yet laced with an unmistakable urgency. Her words sparked an instantaneous response as screens lit up with real-time tactical data. Every detail mattered now. Every maneuver, every exchange of fire could tip the balance of power. In the midst of this orchestrated chaos, Elena felt the weight of memories pressing in. The ghosts of past encounters, of friends lost, and the haunting echoes of previous failures flashed through her mind. Yet, rather than succumbing to despair, these memories fueled her determination. She recalled the promises she had made, the sacrifices of those who believed in the defense of humanity, and now, each pulse of her heart beat in time with the unfolding battle. Amid the electric tension, a pivotal moment arrived. A segment of the alien fleet, advancing with overconfidence born of countless victories, breached the perimeter of Earth's defenses. In a sudden, breathtaking display of tactical brilliance, Earth's forces counterattacked. Precision-guided projectiles and rapid-fire energy beams crisscrossed the murky depths, creating a dazzling tapestry of light and shadow. The alien formation shuddered under the unexpected barrage, its once unyielding line fracturing as panic began to seep into the ranks. A command crackled over the comm channel from one of the frontline captains. "Their formation is breaking. Redirect your fire to the central vessel." The urgency in his voice mirrored the rapid, cascading decisions made in real time, a ballet of risk and ingenuity. At that moment, the scale of the conflict shifted. What was once a tentative exchange had exploded into a definitive battle for supremacy. Across the divide, even the alien commander, whose identity remained shrouded in mystery, could not hide a trace of uncertainty. In a brief, almost imperceptible lapse, their tactical precision wavered, a silent acknowledgement of Earth's unexpected ferocity. That singular moment of doubt, however fleeting, marked the turning point. The invaders, accustomed to overwhelming confidence and superior technology, now faced an enemy whose resolve was as deep and unpredictable as the ocean itself. Within the command center, Elena's eyes flickered with a mixture of triumph and sorrow. The victory in that decisive engagement came at a heavy price, each loss etched deeply into the fabric of human sacrifice. Yet the turning tide was undeniable. The battle was no longer a series of isolated skirmishes. It was a declaration that Earth would not be subjugated without a fight. As the chaos of combat ebbed and flowed, Elena allowed herself a moment of introspection. The critical breach had exposed not only the vulnerabilities of the alien force, but also the raw, unfiltered courage of the human spirit. She knew that every decision made in that submerged theater of war would reverberate far beyond the immediate conflict. In the midst of the raging tempest, there was a transformative power, a reminder that even when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds, humanity's collective will could forge new pathways to victory. The turning point had been reached. The once implacable enemy was now rattled, their invincible facade cracking under the relentless assault of Earth's secret armada. And as the battle raged on beneath the depths, Elena Vega steeled herself for the inevitable continuation of the war, a war that had now irrevocably altered the destiny of both Earth and its celestial adversaries. The abyssal depths of the Pacific became a maelstrom of light and fury as Earth's secret armada surged forth into battle. In a display of tactical precision and raw determination, Elena watched the holographic maps transform into an orchestration of chaos, sleek warships breaking free of their watery sanctuary, emerging like spectral titans in the deep. The enemy had advanced beyond reconnaissance. This was the moment when both sides committed fully to a conflict that would define the fate of Earth. Across the command center, every screen throbbed with real-time updates. Elena's voice, clear and commanding, resonated through the intercom. All units, this is our moment. Unleash every countermeasure. No retreat. Every ship, every crew member, fight for our future. Her words were met with the crackle of determined affirmations and the synchronized hum of propulsion systems powering up the clandestine fleet. Above the ocean, a spectacular light show painted the skies. The alien fleet, once a distant threat, now revealed itself in a dazzling display of crystalline designs and luminous energy shields. They descended in relentless formation, their movements almost balletic as they aimed to crush Earth's defenses. But humanity was no longer caught unawares. Their secret armada, engineered with ingenuity and fortified by a century of sacrifice, met the enemy head-on. In the midst of the chaos, combat raged both above and below the water's surface. Plasma bolts and energy beams crisscrossed the dark expanse, each collision sparking showers of brilliant light against the deep blue canvas. Warships maneuvered with balletic grace, twisting through the water in a deadly dance, as their operators exploited every ounce of strategy and reflex. At a central command station, a holographic interface flickered to life, projecting the visage of Commander Zephyr Call. His image, sharp and imposing, emerged amidst swirling static, his voice a cool, measured counterpoint to the human fervor. "Dr. Vega," he intoned, the tone heavy with condescension and certainty. "You have prepared a commendable resistance, but you are outmatched. Surrender now, and your people might yet be spared further agony." Elena's gaze was steely, unwavering as she met his digital sneer. "Commander Call, your arrogance blinds you to the strength of human resolve. Every sacrifice, every loss, has forged a unity you could never understand. Today, your invasion is met with the full force of our collective will." Her retort echoed through the channel, a declaration of defiance that rippled across the battlefield. The exchange, brief as it was, encapsulated the duality of the confrontation, a battle fought with both advanced technology and the indomitable spirit of a species unwilling to yield. Underneath the fierce ballet of combat, there was a palpable intensity, as if every warship, every sensor, was a heartbeat in the living organism that was Earth's defense. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the fleet as an unforeseen maneuver caught the aliens off guard. A squadron of human warships, concealed by the artful blend of technology and natural camouflage, launched a surprise pincer attack on the enemy's central formation. The resulting explosion of light and sound sent shockwaves through the enemy ranks, fracturing their once impenetrable line. On the bridge of her flagship, Elena allowed herself a momentary pause, a silent nod to the bravery of every individual risking their lives in this submerged war theater. "Maintain formation," she ordered, her voice calm amid the maelstrom, "and press the attack. This is our stand, and we will not falter." In a cascade of strategic brilliance and daring maneuvers, Earth's Armada began to reclaim the upper hand. Energy shields shimmered under the barrage, and countermeasures deflected lethal streams of alien fire. Amid the swirling chaos, the combatants danced on the razor's edge of survival, every tactical decision a thread in the tapestry of fate. Yet, even as the tide of battle turned, the cost of war was etched in every scar and every shattered hull. The holographic display flickered with images of valor and loss, a stark reminder that victory demanded sacrifice. And still, Elena's resolve did not waver. Her eyes, reflecting the strobing lights of the combat zone, carried the weight of history and the unyielding hope of a future worth fighting for. As the battle reached its fevered pitch, the confrontation between Elena and Commander Call transcended mere tactical combat. It became a clash of ideologies. His calculated malice against her resolute spirit underscored the stark contrast between an invader intent on domination and a people united by the sheer force of their will. In that defining moment, every bolt of energy, every echo of command, whispered the same unassailable truth: Earth would fight, and Earth would prevail. The chaos of the battlefield surged onward, and as the alien forces began to falter under the relentless onslaught, Elena knew that this was not the end but the beginning of a new chapter in the struggle for survival. Every heartbeat, every explosion, every defiant cry was a step toward reclaiming the future from the jaws of annihilation. As the tumult of battle ebbed into a wary calm, the hidden Armada retreated to its secret havens beneath the ocean's surface. In the command center, the frenetic chatter subsided into a heavy, reflective silence. Elena's gaze swept over the holographic displays now filled with stark images of the conflict, fractured enemy formations, damaged yet resilient warships, and the digital tally of sacrifices made on both sides. The air was charged not with the adrenaline of combat, but with the somber weight of victory hard won. In the weeks that followed the decisive clash, the command center transformed from a battlefield hub into a sanctum of healing and analysis. Officers, once bristling with the urgency of imminent war, now gathered around scattered consoles to assess the aftermath. The once blaring alarms had given way to the subdued hum of recalibration, each data point a tribute to lives lost and a testament to the resilience of those who survived. Elena moved among her weary team with a quiet dignity, pausing to exchange a few gentle words with a young lieutenant whose eyes still held the haunted reflection of combat. "You did well today," she murmured softly, her tone both a reassurance and a silent promise that their sacrifices would not be forgotten. In these moments of quiet camaraderie, the true cost of victory was laid bare. Not just the shattered hulls and scorched sensor arrays, but the indelible imprints on the hearts of those who had fought. The initial shock of the conflict had given way to an introspective reckoning. In private briefings, military strategists debated the implications of the battle. Every tactical decision, every flash of brilliance had come at a personal price. The echoes of explosions and the memory of laser fire mingled with the more subtle sounds of reflective dialogue, a tapestry woven from both sorrow and hope. Elena herself spent long hours poring over the after-action reports, her mind replaying every moment of the confrontation as if searching for lessons in both strategy and humanity. Yet amid the melancholy, there was a stirring of hope. The fractured lines of the enemy fleet had receded, and in their retreat, humanity had found a momentary respite, a fragile peace that signaled the possibility of rebuilding. Across the globe, the news of Earth's unlikely triumph resonated as a beacon of defiance against the cosmic threat. Communities, once oblivious to the looming darkness, now rallied together in support of the brave souls who had risked everything. In one poignant debriefing, a veteran commander spoke with quiet conviction. Today, we learned that even in the darkest depths, there is light. The cost of victory is steep, but our unity makes us strong. His words, carried on the wind of the gathering dusk, underscored the truth that every victory, however Pyrrhic, was a call to rebuild, to rise again in the face of future challenges. For Elena, the echoes of victory were not only measured in tactical success, but in the renewed spirit of humanity. She knew that the war had changed them all, etched in every scar and reflected in every determined glance. As she stood before a vast, illuminated world map detailing the reconfigured lines of defense and the nascent plans for the future, she felt a quiet resolve taking root. The battle had ended, but the struggle for survival, for peace and understanding, was far from over. In that solemn twilight, with the ocean's vast expanse bearing silent witness to the cost of conflict, the command center's lights dimmed for a moment of collective reflection. Every heartbeat in that room echoed the shared promise that the sacrifices of today would shape a stronger, more united tomorrow. Though the battlefield had fallen silent, its lessons resonated deeply, a reminder that every victory was both an ending and the seed of a new beginning. As the first rays of a tentative dawn crept over the horizon, a fragile peace settled upon a battered yet unbowed Earth. In the quiet aftermath of relentless conflict, the command center now hummed with a subdued energy, a blend of relief, sorrow, and cautious hope. Elena stood before a vast digital map, its glowing lines tracing the scars of battle and hinting at paths toward renewal. Every pulse on the screen carried the memory of sacrifice and the promise of rebirth, a silent testament to the resilience of a species that had stared into the abyss and refused to yield. In the days that followed, the once hidden Armada emerged from the depths, not as an instrument of war, but as a guardian of a renewed global unity. The underwater bases, shimmering under the calm embrace of the ocean, had transformed into symbols of solidarity, a meeting point for the diverse nations of Earth, now more connected than ever by the shared experience of survival. Across the world, communities rebuilt shattered lives with both tender care and steely determination, their collective spirit knitting together the wounds of the past. Elena moved through this transformed world with quiet purpose. In intimate gatherings with world leaders and fellow strategists, she shared the hard-won lessons of conflict. That true strength lay not in isolation, but in the capacity to forge bonds that transcended old divisions. Conversations echoed with plans for a future where technology served not only as a shield but also as a bridge, a means of uniting humanity in the pursuit of knowledge, peace, and progress. Every word was imbued with the hope that the ghosts of yesterday would give way to a tomorrow defined by collaboration and understanding. Yet, even amid the tentative celebrations, the memory of the cosmic threat lingered, a reminder that vigilance must never wane. Under the quiet watch of a starlit sky, Elena and her colleagues continued their work, refining strategies and forging alliances that would protect the fragile balance they had fought so hard to achieve. The world was learning to cherish its unity, embracing both the sorrow of lost comrades and the luminous potential of every new dawn. As the sun ascended higher, its light igniting the skies with brilliant hues, humanity stepped forward into this uncharted era with resolve and grace. The echoes of victory mingled with the whispers of future challenges, crafting a symphony of hope that resonated through every heart and every corner of the globe. In that powerful moment, the promise of a new beginning was undeniable, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people who had transformed their deepest trials into the seeds of a better, united world. The journey was far from over, but as the world embraced this fresh start, the lessons of the past illuminated the path ahead, guiding every step with the brilliance of hard-won wisdom and the unwavering light of hope.